Brodes Media.
Oh, man, that was great. That was so fucking good. Nick, the exclamation point. Him and Rob Thompson, what a moment. Because it's clear they challenged one another. And whoa, that was a button push by the manager, and that was a hell of a response by the player. They got real momentum from it. Nick adds on, and now the team is buzzing. If Zach Wheeler did not get boned by the dumbass blue behind the dish, there's probably no Taiwan. And if Taiwan's not in this game, then it's a shutout. That's what Taiwan Walker does. That's what he is. That's what he's been since coming here. And all the Mets fans should understand. Woo! Wow! Wow! JT, Nick, running that home plate at the same time. They embarrassed them. All the Mets fans trying to make some noise. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Go travel back up the turnpike. Go to your nasty ass North Jersey and get out of my face. I should have seen Zach Wheeler have another dominant inning. You knew the second the double play went down in the first inning and Zach Wheeler gets out of the bases loaded jam, the Mets were never going to get a better chance again when Zach Wheeler was still throwing. He was shoving. Again, if he didn't get absolutely hosed, there's a good chance the Mets don't even get those homers. Unfortunately, we know that all too well, but the balls and toughness on this team, it didn't bother them. Look at what they did afterwards. Look at what they did when they came together, game tied, after taking a nice lead, doing some little things well. It's easy to get defeated. It's easy to think about what the deficiency has been for this club all year long. The bullpen. And what just happened? The bullpen. The bullpen blew it. That's what happened. You can unravel. But instead, it's the complete opposite. Trey Turner, after a couple of really rough at-bats, what's he do? He gives you an RBI double, and now you're taking the lead again. Stott, I thought that was going over the wall. Still had the juice. Still had the energy. What's going viral right now are all those clips of no broadcast, and it's just the fans, and you can see the reaction. That was playoff fucking baseball atmosphere. My God, I had chills. I had the intensity, and when guys get on base type of feeling that game mattered. And don't let Mets fans downplay what this matchup was. I understand it's not the NLDS, but this Phillies group, you've had their number. You pantsed us in Citi Field this year, and that was the first time we got to stare at your stupid face since you guys took us down after we won the division. And you guys are going through hell. You guys are getting swept at home, and then you're getting swept by Atlanta in Truist Park. So what better team to see than the one with all the pressure? They were supposed to annihilate us. We're not really healthy right now, although neither is Bryce, which is our biggest superstar. Imagine if he was healthy and that wrist wasn't a problem. The Mets had sort of the we must get our shit into gear now type of mentality when heading into the ballpark. And if they didn't, then you got the wrong crew. They knew the importance of this one. They knew how badly they needed to stop the bleeding, and they fell flat. And I don't care that the Apple TV broadcast wants to make it feel, oh, it wasn't really a blowout because the game was super close and the Mets came climbing back and it was just 1 inning late. Shut your mouth. You're telling me the way that ballpark went nuts, the way that team was grooving, the way we actually saw the vibes of great Phillies baseball back? You're telling me this is just... There were serious ramifications from this game. One gets the division lead for the night. Whoever wins this series takes it back and is in control. If that doesn't motivate you and you ho-hum through that type of challenge in the regular season, then your crew blows. I think the Mets came in there with that type of mentality. They just failed the mission. And we finally got some swagger back and some life back. For the first time all year, I went, I like this group. I like this group. So I'm hoping they just run with it from here. And we never look back and we never go back. It was a great step in the right direction. And now you got to think about Mick Abel. And I'm so pumped up to see what Mick we get. Do we get his debut against the Pittsburgh Pirates, Mick Abel? Do we get the second game of his career, or is it similar to a Chicago Cubs game where when you see talent like that, whoa, different animal, different beast. I still like to strike out against Kyle Tucker after falling down 3-1 with bases loaded in a 1-run game with 2 outs. That is stuck in my head because I thought it was a great moment. But overall, he wasn't good enough against the Cubs. Is he going to crack when you see Alonso? Is he going to have that same demeanor? If Lindor gets a hold of one? If Juan Soto gives him a stare down? I'm just asking the question. I believe in him. I think he's the real deal. But the reason why I put a ton of pressure on this game too is knowing that Wheels was going up against, who was it, Tidwell? Don't even know who the hell that is. But I know he had a 13-14 ERA because he only threw 3 2/3 innings so far this season. So was Stiff. And to be fair, I actually think he lasted longer than I even thought he would. I didn't think he'd last anything, and he lasted 3 2/3, and I'm over here going, what a shocker. What a stunner. I thought he'd go 1. I thought he'd go 1 2/3. Then the Mets are struggling to even record an out. The guys are, just fucking flying around the bases. Runs. I'm looking left, I'm looking right. I can't even tell what's happening. There's so much electric blue, by the way. Are we going to do an Aqua October? Because those things are sexy. I'm telling you, they're premier. They're A+. But it's just full speed. The blue's buzzing. Couldn't even understand what was truly happening. They were on that much fire. I think we got to give Rob Thompson so much love. There's a lot of callers that call in all day long. Rob screwed up by going to this guy. Why did Rob do this? Why would Rob ask whoever it was to go the 6th when he was obviously done, or go the 7th? He put a couple base runners on, and it was inevitable that was a dumb decision. And this goes back to the roster and the thin bullpen. I watched him do it with Aaron Nola before Aaron Nola got the injury, and I saw him do it just a day or two ago, where you are so down bad and you don't have that many reliable arms. We need to ask our starter who's going into a rhythm to squeeze one more inning out. That is a better option than the Carlos Hernandezes, the Joe Rosses, and Rob Thompson takes that gamble. I don't really blame him. Because as you see, you go to a Taijuan Walker and instantly the game was tied. I mean, when I tell you, you blink and it was tied. Just poof, gone. I actually had hope that maybe he could earn some respect in some valuable bullpen role. I don't know. I don't know how much time you got to dance around with this to even figure it out. because you got to keep your foot on the gas. You got to keep control and do not let it slip from your grasp again. But Rob Thomson, he is a good manager. He does lack the pulse sometimes. Rob Thomson is a good manager. I've been pro Rob Thomson for a while. What he just did with Nick Castellanos, who was a very unique personality and you have to thread the needle when making a decision and putting the hammer down, or else it can go berserk. Now, we're getting to the point where he's subtweeting people on Instagram and putting out captions like, learn the rules like a pro to break them like an artist. I mean, that is some real deep shit. That's not just, hey, I'm going to, take the field with more urgency and play better defense. This is all weird shit. And look at what he does. I think he respects Rob Thomson so much the following day, letting Nick still stay out there and, just handling the very hostile moment perfectly to a T. That is a very weird personality to deal with. You got to get it right. You got to have the right amount of respect. You broke his streak. I'm going to the ballpark and lacing up the cleats and playing 9 innings every day because I love this game and I'm so damn passionate. You took that guy away from his streak just to keep him in the next day, which almost makes the decision feel weirder. But again, you have to time this out perfectly on when you make a move like this, and how you do it matters. And everything within this circle has now had both of these men answer the challenge with 2 thumbs up. What's Rob going to do in this type of situation with a very tense team who has a lot of pressure by the public, by the national view, by the local view? And you got to get it done. You're 13, 14, 15 games over 500. This city rightfully talks about you as if you're stiffs and have big holes, and you got to hear that and wear that every single day, even though inside that clubhouse, you guys are doing what you're capable of doing. All right, Rob, your turn. Time to earn the paycheck. How do you keep everything intact, keep them motivated, and most importantly, get the best out of the guys? The whole team has a feeling because of that. The whole team. The team's playing inspired. That's Rob Thomson being elite at his job. That's him knocking it out of the park. That's a 3-run blast Kyle Schwarbaum nuke in a 2-run game when you're down type move. That's making a serious impact.